Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the delay, but I'm sure you guys by now are used to it. Today, wanted to start off the conversation by just kind of giving you guys some perspective. And I think sometimes when you're dealing with some bad apples that give you a hard time, give you a low ball offer, shake you down for a partial refund, just start off the conversation nasty or just difficult to deal with in general. And we're not even talking about the scammers who send you back a brick instead of what they bought from you. This has been going on for quite some time. And I know that's might be hard to believe for a lot of folks, but I can recall, years ago dealing with bad buyers. Someone who tried to, I think 2019, tried to scam me for a $1,200 unit. It was a switch for a server, and I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I knew it was brand new. And they tried to put in a chargeback and claimed it was burnt up, and it wasn't even anywhere near the condition that I had sold it in. So, these scammers are still around, and these bad buyers are still around. And the only difference that I see is that eBay has changed. Now, I want you guys to tell me, does this ring a bell? I found this comment off of a Discogs website, a forum, and this particular poster went on to say, just wanted to vent how incredibly frustrating it is trying to sell on eBay these days. Buyers will try to nickel and dime you any way they can with the threat of leaving you negative feedback or opening a claim, mind you, without any protection or recourse for sellers. And when you gather the balls, this is their words, not mine, to challenge an unreasonable request, you get the "how are you judging me? I have 100% feedback rating." Really? Wow, you must be sent from the heavens. Okay, I trust you. Of course, you have 100% feedback rating. Sellers can't leave negatives or neutral feedback, only positive. Anyway, anyone still on there, what have your experiences been like? That was the post that this particular person on Discogs made. Anyone want to guess when this was posted? A month ago, maybe at the beginning of the year, last year, 2 years ago? Anybody? How about 13 years ago? Okay, does it sound a lot like what we're dealing with today? Of course, back then, sellers couldn't leave negative or neutral feedback, only positive. It's kind of what we're dealing with. But the only thing I see in this statement that is different now is the fact that we have, as of 2018, sellers were given, and I mean, maybe a long time coming, maybe 2018 was a little too late in the game, but we were given seller protection. Now, of course, it's not perfect. It's not the end all be all. It's not a comprehensive list, in my opinion, of the things that eBay could have done to protect the sellers, but at least they put something out there. You can report buyers now when you get an abusive buyer. You have the ability to deduct 50%. I mean, it's not 100%, but when you get that buyer who scams you, doesn't return the item in the same condition, missing accessories, you can deduct up to 50% while retaining the original shipping if you charge that. That's something that's part of the seller protection. Buyer doesn't pay. That doesn't happen so often now, but it does still happen. And the buyer can't leave you, negative feedback if they don't pay. Buyer demands something not offered in the original listing. We talk about this a lot, where you get the shakedown from the buyer and they're messaging you wanting half their money back or all their money back, or give me $20 back. And they leave a negative feedback. And I think not enough sellers point out to the seller protection policy when requesting the removal of that. But eBay is supposed to remove that negative feedback if the buyer shakes you down in the messages. And then, of course, protecting you from things outside of your control, like weather-related issues or tracking is late, even though you shipped it out on time. So these are all things that I think eBay does not get enough credit for. Yes, it's still lacking a lot of things, but I just want to give people a perspective that selling on eBay isn't at all as bad as it used to be back in the wild, wild west days. And I think a lot of people just don't have that perspective. And if you are an Amazon seller, you're going to find that the buyers are even worse over there because they know they can get away with things with the individual sellers much more than they can on eBay. So that's my diatribe for today on Friday, and hopefully you guys can add to the conversation, or at least put your comments and questions down below and tell me what you think on that. As far as sales, sales have been pretty strong. We had a pretty good sales day yesterday, about an $800 day, another $400 and some odd dollar day today. I just really feel like, the more I'm in there listing, the more traction I get, the more offers I seem to get, the more offers to watchers I'm able to send. And when I'm not so much into listing, I'm out and about, and I'm not really doing the things I need to be doing, it's not as prevalent. So maybe it's just me, but that's what I notice. And guys got to get out there and get your stuff listed, get good quality stuff, and you'll get some better results. If you're having problems, if you're doing great, then keep doing what you're doing. Who do we have today? We got Kenneth Youngs with us. Says, I'm starting with the big thumbs up. So appreciate that, Kenneth. Hit that thumbs up, get that sale within the next 24 hours. I don't know how or why it works, but many people report they hit that like button and they get the sale. So our buddy Mike Camparelli says, hi everyone, my sales are back. Started a 25% markdown sale last night on all my stale items, and first one today was from the sale. Next 8 worked. Go figure. Best sale today was $460. That's awesome. I noticed that it seems to me like when you run a markdown sale, yeah, you get traction on some of your stale items from the markdown sale, but it does give your store an overall boost. And I know this not from eBay data or it's written somewhere, but just knowing that my sales tend to just die when my sales end. And that was like a reminder, oh, maybe I need to check my sales. So I started getting into the habit of running 2-week sales from Monday to the following Sunday, and scheduling them out every 6 months or for a 6-month period. And that works really well. I don't have to think about it, but twice a year. Mike also says about the topic, eBay does get a bad rap, but they do try. It's hard running $1 billion company with millions of buyers and sellers. Just wish they would communicate better with us. Yes. So talking about the seller protections or the things that interest sellers, eBay does need to do a better job by far of communicating. And instead of being in this mindset that, oh, well, we have a monthly seller check-in to communicate with sellers, they got rid of the monthly chat about a month ago. So they're doing less now to communicate. And, it shouldn't be that way. eBay should really, and this is never going to happen, but of course I can wish out loud along with you guys that eBay would be better to take in some way, a partnership with their sellers, which will never happen, but they would find that they would have less problems, at least coming from the seller side, if there's more communication. That's my opinion. And as we were talking about it on the Profit Playbook podcast, which is going to be launched tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Well, we talk about a lot of different things about the future of eBay or reselling in general. But I really think that eBay would do better if they were to vet buyers or sellers, that is, before they start, and maybe even treat it like the way we're treated when we get our license, when we drive, every 2 to 3 years or whatever frequency you want to put in there, that we're given a 20-minute evaluation that we know what we're doing as a seller. And just the thought, though, maybe there's another answer, but all we can do as sellers is put our data out there, and hopefully eBay's watching. We got Paul Rose says, happy Friday, John, Jenna, and chat. Thanks for being here, Paul. Lenny K says, hello from New Hampshire. Winter weather warning tonight, 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot. I love that. I'd love snow right now. We're dealing with 78 degrees, guys. It's horrible.
I know, life is so rough.
Jackie says, hi all. Question, is there a way to see if someone has looked at an item recently? Wondering if I can reduce the price a little so they are notified and maybe give them a little shove to buy it. Well, you'd have a view. Now, your views stay for 30 days. It's a rolling 30-day period. So you know that if you see at least a view on that item, it's within the last 30 days. So go for it. Go in there and make some changes. And, they are as far as a viewer, I'm not sure they're going to be notified. It would be a watcher that would be notified. But it's still a good idea if you have room and the item's stale that you can lower the price. I think that's the biggest thing that holds a lot of sellers back, is that their prices are just too high. And it may be because they buy too high and they can't get it any lower with the fees and, trying to make a profit. So you really got to see what you can do with your pricing and get those prices down, maybe gradually every time you end item sell similar, that type of thing. We got Flip It Goods in the house. Hi, John and Jenna and everyone. Thanks for being here. Mike Seller says, we had that in South Dakota yesterday. Last night was only 3 to 4 inches, though.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm wondering, Mike, if you got your scale yet. I know you were one of the winners. Probably not, because you sent that out on Tuesday. Maybe not. It could have arrived, but I'm just curious if it did or not.
I don't know. I'd have to check the tracking.
EBS says, hi, all. Wind chill in 20s here in southeastern Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Expecting rain. We had our dose of rain last week, and I think we're kind of good with rain for a while. Mike also says, has anyone had their calculated shipping change to free? No.
Not.
I guess you're going to make me have to go and look, but I know that there is a glitch. Now, there's a couple glitches on the app that people were talking about this week. One being something I didn't see is that they're saying that eBay somehow magically changed their prices. Like they changed their prices. They had it set here and they sold it for a lot cheaper. So not saying that didn't happen. It just didn't happen to me. Would I be surprised if it did? No, I wouldn't be surprised. And then the other one, I don't think is really a glitch at all. It was reported on E-commerce Bytes website. Ina Steiner reported that people were saying that they were being charged for a lot higher promoted listing fee than what they had their listing set for. And I say it's probably not a glitch, because if they had a higher rate set on that item and then switched it over to a lower price, a lower rate, within the next 30 days, that buyer, had they clicked on the higher rate at some point, within 30 days, they're going to be still stuck with that higher rate. It's just the way eBay has it set. So it's quite possible that it wasn't a glitch and someone just wasn't understanding that's what's happening. I've got Mark Sedix with us. Says, here is a new name for John. Just call him Dr. Flippin and his great assistant, Jenna Nurse Flippin.
Oh, no.
They have healthy care for your selling needs.
Cure.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I always have the cure. Also, everyone hit that like button. Yes, I appreciate it. Well, thank you.
Mark.
No, my handwriting is eligible to be a doctor, but you weren't supposed to say true. David says, all right, folks, it's a horrible dank cold.
Honesty here.
Yeah, I guess. It's a horrible dank, cold, wet, I won't say it, night in Scotland. Hope everyone is well. I'm just listing, face smiling. I guess you have an emoji there.
Yeah.
Larry Todd says, howdy, is this where I learn how to sell on eBay?
No.
Yeah, this is where you learn all the problems, and this is where we try to scare people away from eBay. Got Keena. Thanks for being here, Keena.
Hey, Keena.
Let's see. Shopping with Cheryl says, good afternoon. Well, thank you for being here, Cheryl. And we got Glenda says, hi, John and Jenna, plus all the great chat peeps. All the excellent chat peeps, that's for sure. We got Shannon says, hi, John and Jenna. Thank you for all your insight on eBay. I'm new to the chat. Well, welcome to the chat. We get together twice a week collectively as a group. You may not see all the names, but you'll see a lot of similar names from week to week, episode to episode. And we're glad to have you here with us. Tease Flip says, evening all. Need that sale for the thumbs up. Only had one today so far. So I've had solid day and a half. It's like this morning wasn't so great, had one sale, and then this afternoon it just started going crazy. So I'm good with going crazy. EBS is knock on wood. My buyers have been really nice. And even if they're not, I think we need to take the personal out of the communications with these buyers. So it's almost like when I was on the phone with a company, with my old internet. They're trying to charge me for a bill that I already had paid. And So getting nowhere, talking to different people, and they're going around and around. They're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm getting kind of irritated, but I had to make a statement to the rep and saying, look, I'm not upset at you personally. I am upset about the situation. And I think sometimes we as sellers, we take what the buyers say personally as an attack. And maybe they are kind of attacking, but we got to be better than the buyer. We have to really understand that we don't know this person. This person doesn't know us. They're angry. They're upset. Maybe we would be upset if we're in their shoes, if the shoe was on the other foot. So just try to help them resolve the problem and be as professional as you can. That's going to go a long way and keep these buyers being nice and not on the defensive. Joe Samard says, good afternoon, FAE crowd. Well, thank you for being here. No One Designs is $5, says John forgot he had to do a live today.
No.
You lost $5. Speaking of that, let's see. We've got Mirthan Tekin says, have you buy anything on eBay before? Well, thank you for the super chat. I can tell you we buy things on eBay seldomly, and it's not because of the bad experiences that we've had with sellers, even though it makes me really not want to when I deal with a bad seller. It's really just because the type of things that I buy are usually new, and I'm finding that I can get a better price or a better selection on the Amazon. And I think that's why Amazon is like a 10-to-1 traffic ratio to eBay. It's just more people turn to Amazon first. And let's be honest, Amazon has exposure everywhere from, AWS, the stats you watch on your sporting events, football, baseball. They show football, a lot of the events, and they have a streaming service, and they are just more prevalent and out there than eBay. So naturally, they're going to have a 10-to-1 ratio over eBay when it comes to traffic. But to me, it's just, I think there's more people on here that buy from eBay than I do. I just don't really, it's not my first place that I go to. And maybe shame on me for saying that, but I'm being honest with you guys. It's about saving money and getting the best deal, no matter who you are. Larry Todd, gifts are allowed in my wing of the assisted living home. Jeez. We'll get you a pair of gloves.
Wow, your wife kicked you out already?
Thrifty Loon says, hello all. Thanks for being here. And we got Lissa says, it was very kind of you to step up to answer with Shopping with Cheryl. Yes, always nice. If you guys have an answer to a question that someone poses in the chat, feel free to try to help if you can. Shane's with us. What's pimpin'? Hello, FAE fam. Well, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. We got Christy. Hello from cloudy Southern California. Love all the great info from everyone. And we'll be in cloudy Southern California. At least I'll be in cloudy Southern California here. Look at the look on her face. Your sister's coming out to visit. And so I'm going to be at the opening day Angels game right behind the dugout on Friday the 5th.
So mark your calendars. There will be no live that day
because she doesn't want to do one.
I will be. I'll be occupied with my family.
I know, but you can all kind of get together.
Negative. My mom and my sister are not down for that.
So weather's nice. Unfortunately, the few times we do get away, I will be getting away like in May as well. So hopefully she'll step up then, but she may not. Larry Todd says Cheryl seems like a nice person for sure. Yes. And we could never have enough nice people. So welcome here. We got Rhiannon. Says, happy Friday. Wonderful J&J and FAE fam. Yes.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Thanks for being here. Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. I wouldn't have guessed. No One Designs says, stop reading my comment, John. Paul Rose posted today. Not sure.
No, I was talking about the comment you read.
Oh, okay.
About eBay.
Andy says, hey, John, you clean up pretty good. Looks like you're going on your way to the lawyer's office. No, I just, you know what? It's like I wear my hat so often. It's like I'm sure you guys are getting tired of all the different hats that I wear. So it's like try to change it up a little bit if I can. Paul Rose says, wow, imagine that. They'd write now. What's that for?
Huh?
Imagine what they'd write now. Okay. Dixie Flipper says, hi, John and Jenna. Have a great evening. Hey, Mike. How you guys doing? Shane says, me learn. Lissa's got jokes. Larry Todd says, 98% of my buyers are great. I don't get the problem with an occasional jerk. And I think, and I've said this before, I think much of it has to do with the category you sell in. If you sell in certain categories, I think that you're going to find fewer and fewer bad buyers on some of these other categories. Paul Rose, the main problem now is the platform. Yes, there are problem buyers, but the sales are the main issue nowadays. Yes, but I can say my sales are up over last year, and I was happy as heck last year at this time on the sales we were making. I don't see a big drop in sales, but then again, I've turned away from a lot of the want type items and am selling a lot more of the need type items. And I really think whether things are good or bad, people are always going to need the needs, right? Now, can they afford the wants? That's another thing. That might be the problem there. Devon says, hello. And
hello.
Thank you for being here. We got Lisa saying, happy Friday, FA peeps. Hope everyone is up in sales and feeling well. Miss Jenna looking radiantly spring and pink. John's looking good too. Well, thank you. I'm always the afterthought, but that's okay.
It's okay.
I'm all right. So, didn't do your hair today, huh?
No, I did not. I don't know where the day went. Quite honestly, I'm not feeling the greatest. And I looked at the clock after I was done doing my makeup, and it was 2:20, and I'm like, what the hell?
Well, and I think kind of it's like, okay, we talk about the distractions, right? So you watching news in the world, there's been a big terrorist T attack in Moscow. And so heart and prayers go out to those folks. Anytime you go to a concert or a show, you don't expect all that crazy nonsense. So we're sitting here talking and complaining about, sales and eBay policies, and that has been reality. Anywhere in the world, you can have that kind of thing going on. And so just be grateful we're not dealing with that right now. Shopping with Cheryl says, gosh, I must be a nice buyer because I rarely complain. And you know what? You shouldn't complain. I mean, if you put yourself...
Unless you have something to complain about. I mean, some people just find any little reason to make a complaint.
Yeah, it's put yourself in that seller's shoes. And if something goes wrong, just be understanding. Now, if they're non-responsive, if they're totally flip on you, if they totally give you an attitude, or they just don't want to be bothered, well, then, okay, that's a little different. Gail says, hello, John and Jenna. Well, thank you for being here, Gail. And then Devon says, Jenna, wake up. You falling asleep over there?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel very, very off. And I told this to him last night. I don't know.
I will tell you.
I feel very, very discombobulated.
I'll tell you that up until 2 days ago, that's the way I felt every day. And I just recently started feeling better. After that, I went to go to a community. They have a community college here, like a career college, that is, where they give you good rates for all different types of massages. And my neck was going out. I mean, I slept on it wrong or something. And I went there, and they worked on my neck, got me going. And ever since, I feel really good. Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna. No, you didn't ask to go. You didn't say you wanted to go. But I knew I needed to go because I couldn't. At the time, I couldn't even.
In the middle of the
I
night,
couldn't even move my neck. And when I'd wake up, my neck would. Are you done? We're trying to run a show here. Nobody cares about all that stuff. I tell you, she's really trying to. Sometimes she tries to work my nerves, but today is one of those. Lissa says, "Hey there, sweet Ping G. I hope you are doing great." Devon says, "Jen, I know you're still not feeling well. Get better."
Thank you.
What I was trying to say is, I think give it a few days. I think you're going to feel better. That's kind of, if you had what I had, and I know you did, that you're going to feel better here in a few days. Yeah. Jovial says, hey, FA fam, late to the show because it's National Goof Off Day. Speaking of that, I need to go buy some. We're out. I need to go buy some Goof Off. You're correct. No One Design says, I got a cha-ching when I actually rushed in to hit the thumbs down button. Now I don't know what to do. Thumbs down that action. It's funny. When we do release videos, or when these live streams go out after the live is done, we always seem to get 3 to 4 thumbs down. It's just like the same 3 to 4, I call them clowns, I guess.
I could probably name every one of them. So.
Well, I'm not sure. You never know. There's probably people who don't even bother to comment that will just put a thumbs down just to be nasty. Ping G says, hi, Alyssa. Just got back from Shakey's bunch of lunch. Ooh, that sounds
Shakey's.
good.
We haven't had Shakey's.
A little chicken and pizza action, and maybe some salad too. That sounds good.
You know what I really want?
What's that?
You don't want. But if I want a good homemade pasta salad.
Okay. Big Dre says, hello, John and Jenna. Second day of no sales. Maybe I'll get some sales on the weekend. Yeah, I know that one. It's time to really start looking at your listings, looking at seeing what you can do for some of the listings that are sitting around and what changes you can make. I myself personally would just be looking at that first before, of course, you're getting your listings done and all that. But you might have some listings that need some attention. Shanoon says, have you had problems with eBay reactivating sold listings? Been running into this on every sold listing lately. Every sold listing. Well, that's not good. I mean, yes, we have seen that in the past where we find that items have been listed that sold. I don't know how or why that happens. eBay will never admit to it being a thing on their end. If you're seeing that, then you need to go through your entire inventory, because the last thing you want is to have defects because you sold it and had to cancel due to being out of stock.
Yeah, just make sure you're watching carefully.
Yeah. Hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Lag says, just stop to say, hey. Well, thank you for being here, Lag. Semperfi 1918 says, in the house, made a sale today, got a $1 lowball offer.
Wow.
But you took the sale? I mean, maybe you're into it for $1. I don't know. Maybe you said, you know what? I'm tired of seeing this thing here and it's time to get it out of here. I don't know. No one design says, thinking about that, so I'm conflicted. I think you're always conflicted. Give it to one of your crackheads and let them decide on what to do. Lag says, mom's making sundaes. Now, that could be taken a lot of different ways, but if it's ice cream sundae, I'll take an ice cream sundae. Yeah. Happy Saturday morning, John and Jenny. Oops, Jenna, she is looking very radiant. Lovely today, John. I hope you cooked for her. Sales still selling when I promoted off expensive items. I will cook. I need to cook. We've been talking about that.
He hasn't cooked in like weeks.
Yeah, we're always just...
Except for the burger. You did make burgers.
Did make you the burger. Yes. We have the Blackstone that's been covered up for quite a while, so we got it out and made some burgers. That was pretty good. Yeah. Let's see. No designs says, Lenny, start throwing snowballs to Vegas and where Devon lives. I'll take this.
No.
Lag says, hey buddy, can't stay. Well, thank you for being here.
It's okay. Nice Thanks for stopping in.
Mike says no scale yet, but it's on its way and you're gonna be happy when you get it.
Yeah. I would say it might be there Monday is what I'm gathering.
The only thing that I've noticed with my scale is that it gets dirty because it's white, right? It gets dirty.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, the new one. I mean, of course I can clean it. That's the only thing I've seen a problem with. I love the fact that when it's plugged in, the LCD is always on, and I have one in here that's not that same brand. It's the same kind of thing. So Cheryl says Las Vegas is having perfect weather right now before the heat comes.
Yes,
this is
right.
This next 2-month period is like the best time to be here in Vegas, and after that, you just got to get ready.
Last year it got hot early, so we were getting pretty hot temperatures in May, and when we first moved here, it wasn't until like July. We still had snow on Mount Charleston when we first got here. We're like, oh, okay, we can handle this. Well, it changes every year.
So I think Lenny won the green scale. He's getting his on Monday. So he's been watching the tracking. Deborah JK says, I can't message on my phone app to any of my buyers or customers, only on the computer. Crazy. That is crazy. But try this. Try going into the app, delete it off of your phone, go back into the App Store or I guess it's called the Play Store for Android, and download it again, sign in, and try that. That should fix the problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ping says, I usually take a nap after lunch, so today will be better after this live is over. Well, you still have Beard's live that's after that. I'm not sure what time he's going to be ready to do his live tonight, because I do know he's traveling. He's on the road, and he may be with us on time or a little later. I'll let him jump in at some point in this live and let us know. Larry Todd, Ping, do you have a snuggly blanket for naps? They're called a Snuggie. It's one of the things like you. That's not a Snuggie.
No, mine's not a Snuggie, but I have I have a comfort thing, so I always have to have a blanket.
Lissa says I had prices change on several things. Like Casey said, I thought it was going batty until I checked my Activa launch pages. So that glitch is real. But is it real for everyone? Because I honestly didn't really look, to be honest with you, but I haven't sold anything that's with crazy prices either. We have Fart Sack Jack in the house.
I can't say that I have no sale running.
Well, that I'll have to check because you have sales that are scheduled out. So Paul says, hit the like button, hit the like sale, please. Yes. Just got to be patient. It'll come. It's in the ether. You'll get a sale from someone. I know. Meg says, hey, lovely FAE folks.
Hi, Meg.
Thanks for being here, Meg. Good evening, Miss Meg. And Love Being Picky says, hi, can you tell me why eBay is taking down my listings and saying I should relist? That's a little vague. I've never seen them take down the listings and saying that you should relist unless maybe there's a problem with your listing. But even then, they don't want you relisting that, like a bureau. Well, maybe more information on that because there might be more to that story. Paul says, I have managed not to call customer service for quite a while now, trying my best not to these days. I did contact eBay customer service regarding a situation, and I know the answer. I knew the answer to it, but sometimes I just kind of want to be on record as to the answer I'm getting. And of course, it's a PlayStation that I sold, the PlayStation 4 that I sold, that was shipped to the buyer and the address they provided us, at least. And it was attempted on the 1st of March to be shipped. Then 3rd and the 4th, it was attempted. Then it was sent back to the local FedEx facility. They waited like a week and a half, and they decided to send it back. Now, my assumption is they left a note because they normally do. If they are holding the item, they'll leave a note at the door. But for whatever reason, nobody even reached out. We're talking 3 weeks later. Here we go. We get the package delivered back to us. So I do the only thing that I can do, and that's reach out to the buyer and saying, hey, got this back. Not sure why this wasn't received. Maybe someone wasn't available. Who knows? But FedEx ended up sending it back. You have a couple options. We can work out getting the shipping paid again. We can reship it, or I'll refund minus the original shipping because that money was used to pay for that label. And they kind of got starky. You can't charge me for the shipping, and it's not my fault. When I pay to have it shipped, it should get I should get the item. I didn't pay to not get the item. Well, you know what? That's not I have no control over that. So we kind of went back and forth. And I said, look, I did contact eBay, and they are again telling me that seller protection is, kind of what I did everything I'm supposed to do. So seller protection, I have kind of backing me up here. We are going to go ahead and process a refund back to you minus the original shipping, because I'm not going out of pocket $20 because someone just doesn't like it. Only when I make a mistake or when I cause the problem should the seller have to eat that. And couldn't tell me where I went wrong. What did I do wrong other than ship it to the address that you wanted it shipped to? And now it turns out that it was someone else he was having it shipped to. So if they weren't available, or they weren't knowing that the package was coming, they weren't nobody reached out saying, hey, where's my package? So there's got to be a little onus on the buyer's end, and they ended up opening an item not received case. So we'll see where that goes. But people, they want what they want, and they sometimes are not reasonable, or willing to take responsibility for their end of the bargain. So Rihanna says, cha-ching, yay, thank you, J&J FAE Fan Magic. Awesome.
Yay.
That's awesome. Now I'm getting dings on my phone, but they're all just text messages. Noah Design says, Marathon, I buy clear poly bags on eBay if that helps, and my crackheads buys mind alternating He says alternating accessories. I'm only reading the words these guys put out.
They probably do that to you on purpose.
And I think they do.
Especially
I'm going to have to skip Ken's comments for a while just to put them in timeout. Devon says, I understand that with returns, do not take them personally. With anything, don't take them personally. Yeah. You might have someone that's so fed up with eBay, they decide they're going to attack you. And honestly, you shouldn't have to take it, but at least make an attempt to de-escalate. And I think that you'll find that will allow you to at least complete the transaction or whatever the problem is with less stress and anxiety. Larry Way Out says, happy Friday, John and Jenna. Sharon and I are looking forward to seeing you next week. Yes. Now you got to remind me what day you guys want to meet up. I know you guys want to go like to lunch or something. So just make sure that we have a heads up. My son is talking about coming out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we have to try to work it out if it's within that time frame. My Greta says, looks like my buyers got their tax refunds, crushing it this week.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's going to be, and I think that's also why we see like a summer slowdown. You know, we talk about summer slowdown like happening like mid-June, July-ish. Well, maybe it's because the refunds, the tax refunds are just starting to slow down. A lot of people don't even bother to do their taxes until the very, very last day in April. I think it's about the 15th of April. And then it takes, a good solid month to get that money back. So that's why we continually see good, this is the theory of mine, but I really think that's what helps drive sales in the beginning part of the year is those tax refunds. Duncan's eBay is not the first place John looks at when he's buying. He checks Temu first. No, sir, I don't. I just have, I feel like that if as sellers we promote or if we use Temu, we're kind of just, I don't know, we're just undermining our own success, by supporting a site that I think our sellers are turning to first. One thing I noticed, try going to download the eBay app on the Apple store, because I don't know if it's doing the same thing on the Play Store, but go and search for the eBay app. What is the first thing that you see in the results? You get the Temu app.
Really?
Yep. You got to go past all that to get to the eBay app. So Temu is actively undermining eBay, and any of you guys are out there rely on eBay for your income.
Yep, he's right.
Yeah, I was right. You'll see tomorrow on the podcast that I was right. But that shouldn't be a thing, right? Now, how much is Temu paying Apple to get on top of an eBay app search? That should be a big problem. That shouldn't even be allowed to happen, but it is. And I'm not supporting that. I'm not supporting any company that wishes to undermine my success, whether it's within the category that I'm selling or not. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Larry Way Out says, hi, Shane and Duncan. Let's see. Duncan says, hello there, baubles, blings, and needful things. And Jovial says, Jenna, go put your leather jacket on. You look like a Pinky Tuscadero's twin.
Pinky Tuscadero? Who's
Who the heck is that?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
They don't sound too good. Devon says, John, you are so lucky. Sorry, Jenna, I love baseball. Yeah, I love baseball too. I have a friend, my buddy in California. He runs a trucking company out there, and his vendors supply him with, like, they got tickets to the hockey game. Oh, okay, I see.
From Happy Days.
Okay, they got tickets to the hockey game out there, like the Kings game. They get tickets to all kinds of events. So he's got tickets to opening night. He got 4 tickets and said, hey, you want to come? I'm like, I've got to make it. I've got to find a way to be there. And then after that, like 2 weeks later, he's got tickets to the Masters. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That I wish you would have been able to
get
instead.
But like back in 2018, he got 2 tickets to the Kentucky Derby. And he we had to do is pay for our flight. So that was a bucket list kind of thing. It's a bucket list thing to do the Masters. Anyone who likes golf knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's nice to have friends that have connections. Jovial says, Silver Fox.
Yeah.
Jeez. Where does that originate from? Because I've had people, even like 5 years ago, people were calling me that. Silver Hair Stacker, 2024 has been a record year so far, but today's zero. Come on, cha-ching.
0? That's odd for you.
Yeah, but I think, and I'm not wishing anything bad on you, Todd. Never, ever would I do that. But I think sometimes we have to have that experience to appreciate the really strong sales. So I've had mine this year, and so it's likely to happen. But the good news is when those bad days do happen, you usually have a really strong day afterwards. Beard says, I hope you're having the moist day you deserve. I knew that was going to come up. Here's Ken, even though he's in timeout. I said, Jenna, what happened with the old chair? Did the pup steal it for their YouTube live?
No, I threw it out to the curb because you guys heard it. All it does is squeak, and it drove me bananas. So I have a very nice new chair that I absolutely love.
Tea Leaves says, I've been selling antiques on eBay for 20 years and have never had an unpleasant buyer. And I just think it's that type of category that you're selling in.
Yeah.
It's the type of buyers that gravitate to that type of category. Someone who's looking for, I don't know, a toilet seat may not be in as good of a mood as someone who's looking for an antique lamp, you know. Yeah. MJ says, hello to all. Well, thank you for being here. We got Kent feeling soaked. And Lissa says it's definitely moist in Northeast Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
Mike Gertis says my buyers can offer the wants. I'm sure you mean afford the wants. I'm up 47% year to year. That's good.
That's good.
Let's see. What if the seller's show smells? I don't know what that means. Shoes smell. Even then, what does that mean? I don't know. Jovial says, John, it's Friday, fun bun day if you're lucky. I don't have enough hair for fun bun.
But I do.
Shopping with Cheryl says, stuff is starting to bloom in Vegas and my allergies have started. Yes, we have this bush that's my car is parked next to, and this like big yellow pollen filled.
Yes.
I had to go and get that.
And there's 3 of them right by the kitchen window. And oh my God, I think that might be what's happening.
Yeah, I had to wash the car. Northeast Mountain Retail says, hello all. Well, thank you for being here. And we have Deborah Garner says, hello from Boca Raton, Florida. My business is very slow right now, but sold a lot with a big sale. Lots of sellers getting rid of things cheap. This is a very good opportunity to get merchandise to resell, but I would still be selective. That way you're not buying stuff that's just going to be sitting. I think 2024 should be the year where each and every one of us really pays attention to the merchandise we're putting into our store. But being slow, just keep your head up. You got the big sale, so hopefully that'll lead to more things. EVS John, clear off the couch. I don't do the couch.
Snippy with me.
I get snippy sometimes, but that's just me. Thrifty Loon says, I'll hit the like button for my sale. Yes. Midnight Merchant says, happy flipping Friday, y'all. Looking forward to selling off some of my death pile at the garage sale tomorrow. Hope everyone is doing well. And that's the place to do it. Get your death, because it might seem like junk to you, but someone might think that's good stuff, right? For everyone's, junk is someone else's treasure. Basket Noodle says, greetings.
Greetings.
And then Simplified sale was for a different item.
Yeah, when he said that he's got an offer, a lowball offer for $1.
Okay. Steph says, OMG, I clicked a like and just got a sale.
It works. I mean, we don't know why or how.
It doesn't work for us.
It doesn't work for us, but if it works for you guys, that's all that matters.
Basket Noodle says, I think I just had my first non-payer in near 2 years at the eBay. But isn't that a sign of actually good things? At least eBay slow rolled us on the instant payment thing, right? We waited a good solid year and a half. Finally, we have it. I've had one instance where the payment wasn't made this year, and that's because they were in, I think, Puerto Rico, and they couldn't get ground to take for them, whatever. So we just canceled it. Silver Hair, Dirty Scales was my stage name.
Oh boy.
Is that Dirty Scales like with all the other dinosaurs? I don't know. Just saying. Duncan says, what's your burger recipe, John? Fried egg and cheese?
Ooh.
No, I know what you're talking about when you're making your homemade patties. You use you put the eggs in there and all that. No, just get some good quality burgers, like from Sam's Club. They have like the Angus burgers and the ones that don't shrink up.
What Sam's Club
well, you know, like Macca's Club. I don't know.
No, it's not anything like Macca's. Are you kidding?
A lot better. How that is nasty, Larry, but I feel there might be an interesting backstory. Moist Flapjack is with us today. Lost a crazy disputed payment case. Buyer claimed to not recognize credit card charge, even though tracking showed delivery, and they left a positive feedback. Thankful for eBay seller protection. Yeah, as long as you get that tracking that says it was delivered, it's like out of your hands. I've got an interesting story that you'll hear tomorrow on the podcast where we had a situation something like that. Jim Flipper says, I had a Vero on an MLB figure similar to Lego. Didn't use any of their trademark words, and it got taken down. So I decided that I would be my first ever listing on Mercari, and it sold in less than 5 minutes. Sometimes you have to do that. We had 2 to 3 years ago, we had received in a liquidation pallet a Dr. Seuss set of like 10 to 20 books, the little kids books, and a nice little case. And eBay Vero that thing. And I'm like, I was ignorant. I didn't know that, that was a thing where eBay wasn't allowing you to sell it. We put it on Mercari and sold it within a week without any problems. Carolyn says, hi, John and Jenna. Hope you're both well. Yes, we are. Thank you for being here. Nice seeing you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Waiting to Shine says, I toggled the off and on. Now time to sit back and watch the sales roll in.
Yes.
Yeah, don't toggle it too much because it could tweak things. You don't want that.
Might mess it up.
You gotta massage the like button carefully and hit it once for it to work properly.
I don't know why you can't.
I can't see it because I'm half dead blind. Lisa Jacobs is curious on others' thoughts of thrift with me videos. Ever find something because of seeing in one and made money?
Nope.
I'm just not sure if it's a waste of time. They tend to just make me sad. I'm not thrifting. So I look at it as, okay, you're looking and you're giving yourself ideas. Okay, like, oh, they looked at this type of thing, not the exact item, but oh, okay, they see value in this or they see value in that. Honestly, it's not going to give you any kind of real bolos to work with. That's why I don't watch those videos. I'm sure there's people that don't even resell that like to watch those videos. They enjoy people going out and finding stuff and seeing what they can get for it. It's just really about getting out there, when the weather gets better for you and learning from your mistakes and stuff. Tommy wants you guys to go apply at Piggly Wiggly, and there's the link if you wouldn't mind doing that. That way, especially if you're a shoe seller, it'll lessen his competition, and he'd much appreciate you for that. Nature Made in Utah says, sold a stamp album for $110. Buyer wanted to return it because she changed her mind. Received the stamp album back today with no damage. I then gave her a full refund. That sure was a waste.
No.
It is a waste. It's disappointing. Just like we got that PlayStation 2 back, and it's a $200 sale. I don't want a PlayStation 2. All we did was we made sure everything was fine. They never opened it because it was never delivered. So repackaged it, put it in a better box, relisted the exact listing, the same price, and guess what? It sold the same day. So if you have a good item, get it up and it will sell. Now, I don't know what this means at all.
Can you please explain what this guru alert means?
Guru alert. I don't know what that means. If it's meaning that I'm a guru, not even by any stretch of the imagination. I'm only here explaining what I deal with, try to point to policy and stuff like that. Or is he
talking about somebody else?
Or maybe he's talking about Tommy, because that Tommy finally shows up here, and that's where we get the guru alert. Could be Tommy. George Escobedo says, so just started selling, but got my first return. I have no returns. My listing says open box and description says open box, looks new, but does show signs like to open it and test it. Its seller says it's used. Okay, so it sounds like you have no return set for your listing. Buyer got it. You advertise it as open box. Looks like it's used. and that buyer opened a return item not as described, which overrides any return policy you have, which is why I always say there is really no such thing as having no returns. Yes, there's an element of the buyers that will be fooled into saying, "Oh, this seller doesn't take returns," and feel like they're stuck with the item. But the buyers that know better, the item doesn't come in the condition that they expect it. They're going to open an item not received. You're responsible for the return label. Now, when you're selling something as open boxed, you need to be clear as to what's going on with this item. Are there any defects? Open box generally is an item that is in new condition that the buyer has just basically, like on a return, the original buyer may have taken out of the original box, maybe didn't replace the internal packaging, but it's still in new condition. You can tell by inspection that it has not been used. So if the buyer gets it and they see that it's in used condition, then they can open the claim based on that. So make sure you really, because you don't want to have to deal with that. It doesn't help your account. It hurts your return ratio, and you want to be as clear with the description as you can. And I understand, the idea that, if I represent my item to be really good when it maybe isn't, it'll get the sale a little bit faster, but you're going to lead to a lot of disappointment. Basket Noodle says, "Dear sir, I'm sorry you have an overactive bowel, but your PS4 delivery has been refudged." Yes. And this guy, who knows what this guy's going to do? Even if he opens a chargeback, he's got most of his money back. So, Bearded PokeTuber says, "They keep asking me for this thing called a diploma or GED, Tommy. Not sure what that's about." And again, Kent coming strong with the comments again. I have no words. Just keep it up. That's the second week in a row where you've just
he does that every time.
Dropped some knowledge. Big Dre says, "This year I started old stock between 500 days and 300 days old at 20% off and everything else at 10% off. I'm adding 1% each month to sales and 5%. Okay, you're confusing me. 5% coupon and everything. Pricey items on auction now." So there's a lot going on. I've tried the multiple sale thing, and it seems to kind of override each other. I've not had good success when I've introduced multiple markdown sales at the same time, like shoes, hats, different things, right? I just have never been able to pull that off. I'd rather do just one markdown sale that encompasses the entire store. Texas Grown or TX Grown says, "New to selling about 2 months and got a Vero violation for counterfeit, but I know they're real Titleist golf balls. It was flagged by
Core Search.
Core Search? Well, you can't really win there. You can send a message. They'll give you an email address where you can try to communicate with. I mean, if you want to do it as an exercise, but you're generally not going to get anywhere. Just make sure you're not selling those golf balls. There's no way for them to know by looking at a picture. Maybe take those golf balls to Mercari. Cross list.
I mean, golf balls of all freaking things.
Yeah, just cross post them over to Mercari and sell them there. A lot of people sell golf balls over there, but don't try to resell them on eBay, because if you continually get the same Vero violation, then it can lead to a suspension, and it's not worth those golf balls. Devon had 2 great weeks of sales, but this week is slow. Tommy says, "Matt, you can buy one on eBay and become a priest as well." And then Paul, 5% of every hour worked. And we have LSGS Rob with us, says, "I think it's crazy some of the massive refunds that people get. The goal is to get the least amount, not to give the government free money. Some people purposely have more money taken out just for a refund." But some people can't control their money. So they live paycheck to paycheck. So it's the old adage where the more money you make, the more money you spend. And I think that holds true for a lot of people. So they have money in the bank. Well, I guess we can go out to eat tonight and tomorrow night and go to the store and go buy this. Where if you didn't have that money there, then, and it's just accruing away in the government's till, then you don't have that money to blow. For some people, it's a good thing. Beard says, Bearded PokeTuber says, "I got this plot of land in Scotland. This is one time." Waiting to Shine says, "People who have money coming back are definitely not worth waiting until April to file." Well, but some people just procrastinate. They want to go and get their taxes done. They don't want to do it themselves. I've seen it before. My friend does taxes throughout the year, the first part of the year, and people that get good refunds, they're getting them through April and May. Lissa says, some folks now, I get the tax extension until October. I personally have myself after the divorce, so there can be a second return influx before the holidays. Basket Noodle says, if I sell at What's Not, I undermine eBay. If I sell at eBay, I undermine Mercari. If I sell at Amazon, I undermine What's Not. So you're right, but the thing is, resellers sell on Whatnot. They sell on Mercari. They sell on Poshmark. They sell on Etsy. They sell on eBay. Sell on Amazon. There ain't one reseller that sells on Temu. Okay, it's not a marketplace for us. It's a marketplace designed to really put out cheap products at a cheap price, and it's just one more place that buyers could be going to eBay, but instead they're going to Temu. And it's just the type. It's like another Wish.com. We talk about that on the podcast as well tomorrow. Tommy says, hopefully enough to cover their monopoly lawsuit. Ren Gregory says, I'm listing sell similar. I've had some earrings with skunks on them, and eBay is not allowing me to list because they say it's drug paraphernalia.
What?
That's wild.
Now, what type of verbiage are you using in your title? Because it's not illegal to sell something that looks like a skunk. So to me, it tells me that maybe there's a word.
There's
a word somewhere in your listing that's been taken the wrong way. Big Dre says, last month I decided to upsell every order. So far, I made 7 additional sales off of 3 sales by offering free shipping or a discount if they add more items to their order. There you go.
Nice.
That's the way to
Very
do it.
good.
And I'm willing to bet that you sell within a niche, so it's a little easier to get those buyers to look at other things in your store. Devon says, last time I saw the Angels was the World Series 2002. Glad you mentioned that. I'm hoping this is a miracle year. A buddy of mine and I, we each put in $50 for a $100 bet. The Angels get to the World Series and win. It's worth $20,000. And think it's not possible. Well, in 2002, they didn't think it's possible. So let's see. We have No Design is timeout.
Yeah, I pointed to something and you.
Look at the new logo.
Oh my God.
Kelly says WD-40
Wait,
helps with
what does that
squeaking.
say?
It says moist.
I know that, but what does this say?
Clothing and junk. That's his new company name.
Wow. You know you're going to have to live with that for 14 days. Or more like, I have to live with that for 14 days.
Kelly says WD-40 helps with squeaking, but she didn't like it. It was an excuse. She didn't like the chair.
I didn't like the chair either.
That's the real reason.
Yeah.
She gives the alternate reason. She wants to blame it on you guys not liking the squeaking.
No, that's not what I did. I said.
It kind of is. Anybody want to rewind and go back to when she said, well, you guys are complaining about the squeaking. It actually was.
Okay, I want you to spend hours listening to
There's people who will. Silver Hair Stacker says, today is just crazy zero. January to now, I haven't had a 0 day.
Really?
It'll snap out. Just get out there and list some more. I'm telling you, it's what I do. It works. I mean, you're going to have a bad day once in a while, but you're going to have a good day to offset it. Ren says, I guess I can just move on for now. $25. I could put them on. Rep is laughing, checking for me. Yeah. Robert 292 has a green square monster face.
You just passed it again. Can you please go to
What
your
am I?
face?
Oh, okay. Why am I in a timeout? Is it because of the name? No, it's because of not the name. It's because of the.
You don't even remember.
I do remember, but I want to phrase it in such a way. Well, go back and listen. You'll hear why I'm upset. Let's see. I'm not even upset. I love you, Ken. 14 days of moist. I'll take it.
I'm really over it.
Yeah,
guys.
it's
really,
we gotta find another term.
Find something else to pick on me with.
Jackie says I got a $10 offer on a $100 item, declined and blocked the jerk.
Yeah,
but
that's what I do.
But why? Why do we take it personally?
Because it's disrespectful.
Or it could be that they've done it before and it has worked. So they're going to do it every time, because why not? The least that they can say is the worst they can do is say no. I guess in this case, the worst that can happen is they can get blocked. But why not at least throw your best offer at them and see what happens? You know, it may not happen where they'll buy it, but maybe. Big Dre says, I also send 10 listings a month to my clearance category, which is $10, and all sales going apply to these items as well. But you have a process in place, and I think most people just don't. So you need to figure out what is something I can do with these items that are sitting here. Is it lotting them out? Is it waiting for the yard sale, pulling them off your store? These are all viable ways to make that happen. Deborah JK says, I'm so sick of people offering less than 5 or 10% of my asking price. Never mind the fact the MSRP is about $400 and they're offering 10 or 15. My price is about 160. Smack my head.
Shaking my head.
That says SMH.
Yeah, shaking my head.
Oh, okay. Smack my head.
Shaking.
Smack my head. Anytime picker, Roman. He's going with the bad will. Is that bad will?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I see that Ken is finally behaving today. Hello, everyone. Well, nice to see you, Roman. Waiting to Shine says, rub the nubbin. Got it.
He's talking about the light.
Okay.
The light button.
Behaving. I haven't behaved since 73.
I don't think you've ever behaved.
Kelly says, if you're tired of seeing low offers, just set minimums. Anything outside my range gets auto-rejected, alleviates a lot of annoying offers. Yeah. So why don't you have those offers set to a minimum amount? So every time you create a listing, what is the lowest price you are willing to entertain, and put that in there. For me, I leave it blank because I feel like people are going to try to do their best to get the lowest price they can, even an insulting offer. And if I can get that person to come up to at least my lowest price, they need the item and it's worked for me before, then I'm going to continue to do it that way. Paul Rose says, I checked out local charity shops in my city for the first time a fortnight ago. Nada. It was all worthless, dirty junk, no good in my area. Yeah, I don't really like to go to thrift stores that much at all. I just find a lot of good stuff at yard sales, and I'm getting good stuff at other places. So we have Maya. Hello. Hope everyone is doing good.
Hi, Maya.
Thanks for being here, Maya. Shopping with Cheryl says the bins look like they would just frustrate me due to the other people.
Yes.
The other people,
Yes.
the elbows, the shopping carts, the flying furniture, all the stuff.
I hate the bins.
Basket Noodles says guru in information tech came from software engineering. When Microsoft Visual Studios have a runtime fault, guru meditation error would come up. But I think it was kind of meant for, Tommy, guru alert that he had entered the building. Ken says, no, Roman 21 or older, not raining outside. Maya says, Lissa, yeah, I was out printing documents for my tax stuff and I took way longer than I expected. Yeah, that's a process that I am now entering into. It's now data collection time, and something I should have done weeks ago, but I've kind of felt like this entire month I've been behind the 8 ball, not feeling well. And I'm back on track. So I'm going to get that process taken care of. Christine Anderson says, oh yeah, hey, I'm here in snowy Wisconsin. Sales for me are meh, but it's totally my fault. And that's kind of refreshing to hear people say that. Not that your sales are slow, but that you know where it originates from. Yes, eBay has an involvement in that. Yes, the economy has an involvement in that. But you are ultimately the one that decides what you buy it for, when you list it, how you list it. And if you do those things right, then you're going to find more success. So good on you for at least coming out with that and acknowledging it. Some people won't. Jim B says, I'm annoyed with this eBay new shipping policy classification. Can you discuss this? Hopefully you know what I'm referring to. I don't know what you're referring to.
Is it international?
If you can elaborate what you're dealing with, I can try to speak to it. But again, for me, shipping seems to be better than it's ever been. Getting a lot of items that we would normally ship by FedEx that we're shipping by way of Ground Advantage and saving money.
And we do not ship international. We do not participate in that.
Kimmy Cozart says, got a return on a vintage shirt, which is fine. Comes with a tag cut and hole in it with stains throughout the shirt. It was mint condition. How would you handle this? Well, There's only one way you really can handle that, and that is to give them a refund of only 50%. So you have to go in and issue a refund to the buyer and deduct by as much as 50%. That's the maximum that they allow you to refund. If you charge shipping extra, they do not get the original shipping back. But if you have free shipping, then you can't adjust it for the amount you paid for the shipping label. So this is another reason why I don't do free shipping.
Did the mailman come?
He did not.
That's
Nobody
concerning.
has. Well, he usually comes by now, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they come at 4 o'clock ish, so we'll see. Simple Beautiful says, "Hey J&J, a reseller who does show and tell videos on YouTube claimed a lawyer served her by email about a fake she got from Amazon bins. She did say the brand she claimed she paid up. Is that clickbait?" I mean, I certainly wouldn't make a video about something like that never happened, but some people do. I don't know what YouTuber you're talking about, but I did hear a story about that type of thing happening. And in light of some of the things that I've heard recently, I think that is a thing. There's lawyers out there who are trying to pick on resellers, and including resellers in lawsuits and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that video, but I wouldn't doubt it. Maya says, "Looks like a USSR flag inspired icon." Oh, for Roman, yeah.
Yes.
Ren Gregory, right? That's what the rep told me. We even rearranged the words, and it still blocked me from listing the earrings. What about
How
identifying
strange.
the word that's tripping up the algorithm and removing it? Because that does as well.
Yeah.
That will maybe just revamp the entire listing using different words. Todd's got a sale. There it is. You're not shut out anymore. I just got an offer for $135 and may have a sale today after all. There you go. Just
Well, did you take it?
and then you got an hour that you have to sweat so you don't get that cancellation. Nick Picker says, "I'm usually not on board with this eBay is slow narrative, but I had about 10 days with extremely slow sales and almost no watchers. Had wife do some drafts for me, just needed to take pictures. But when I went to complete the drafts, prices were changed to suggested price. Then I saw Rockstar's video, so deleted and reinstalled the app. As soon as the app reinstalled, I sold 7 things and started getting watchers." So if you're having difficulties with sales, delete the app, delete it, and then just reinstall it. And then the worst thing that comes out of that is you have to sign in again. If you have your password saved, you just have to sign in again and have it resave the password. Maya says, "I keep seeing people say you can't be served by email or message, and they aren't aware of the SAD schemes. I don't know what SAD schemes are. It seems like that's what all these companies do now. They don't bother to mail anything anymore." And I thought, just like you, that you are required to be served if you're involved in
person.
Yeah. So what's to say? It's no different than them sending it in the mail. What's to say you receive that mail?
Right.
Big Dre says, "Yeah, I noticed when doing multiple markdown sales that sales dropped for a few days, then rebounded. I've been doing this for a few months now. Maybe I'll get back to one markdown sale again." Deborah JK, "Don't feel bad, TX Grown. I just got a Vero from Macy's because I had the word Bloomingdale in my title for items I purchased from Bloomingdale's palette from Bloomingdale's, the men's store." Yeah. And we have Tree Cat with us. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions about Tree Cat, hit them up. Michelle is usually here with us, and she can answer your questions. If you are selling on eBay and you're looking to get more exposure for your items, do consider cross-listing. And we use Tree Cat. Currently, it's still free. They haven't sent me a notice saying that they're charging yet, and they're working on getting the payment processor in place. But get your items listed. They have a delist, relist feature that's coming so that you can schedule your items to take advantage of what people go in and do, the end item sell similar process. They have a feature that will remove items once they're sold from all the platforms. And that in itself is like the main reason why you want to go to a service like that, because the last thing you want to do as a person selling the same item on multiple platforms is to have it sell on multiple platforms at the same time. So go and check in there's a link down below. Use my link and give them a checkout, and you get discounted rates by using the link. Maya says, "Wow, for real, you can't put Bloomingdale's in the title?"
Yeah, that's wild.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Silver Hair says, I would prefer a nude woman to that thing you got going on there. probably the icon that Roman's using right there. Nature Made Utah says, I sold pocket knives on eBay and they took it down saying weapons are not allowed on eBay. I see all kinds of knives for sale on eBay. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's strange. What is going on with eBay?
You know, look up hoverboards. eBay doesn't want you selling hoverboards. They'll flag items that they think are hoverboards, but they can't get the ones that are actually hoverboards.
It's just a floating soccer ball.
And there's an idea. Tommy says that you might have international sales on, and that those are not allowed in certain countries. Devon says, we took your best pitcher in hitting and pay him lots of money, those Dodgers. And then he takes the money and goes and gambles it away.
Yeah. Did you hear about that?
Did I say that? Oh, okay. Let's not talk about that. And I don't want him to go away, by the way. He's on my fantasy team, so I can't have him being sent back. The brand name is Seed and Sky. Keyword skunk and seed are not allowed.
Seed and Sky.
Keyword skunk and seeds. So what if you're selling seeds? You can't sell seeds?
Okay, so use skunk and not seed. Aren't they earrings?
I don't know. Maybe misspell it. I don't know. Chastity said, just got a sale. First ever bundle sale on Poshmark. Christmas Village decorations.
Oh, very nice.
There you go. People are buying Christmas.
I love Christmas villages.
Christmas in March. Tommy says, some countries don't allow knives. Turn off international and relist the knives. Good advice.
Yeah.
Got Bartermania with the 4-leaf clovers four times. Maya says, Utah, are you opted into EIS that applies international shipping to all your items? Something to look into.
Yeah.
Glenda Bavona says, Jen, I understand about the chair. Mine has bad hydraulic and slowly drops me lower and lower while I'm sitting and trying to work. Drives me crazy. Yeah, when that happens, it's time to override the hydraulics and find a way to bolt that height into place.
Or just buy a new chair.
My photo showed not only the tag in the back of the brand new sweater, all paper tags were hanging as well. New tag item, got the bureau. Anyway, I wrote to them. Of course, I heard nothing back. You probably will never hear anything back. Sell it on Poshmark. Don't sell it on eBay again. Yeah. Samantha says, good evening, John and Jenna. I'm so late. I have to rewatch. I'm sorry. What's up?
Hey, Samantha.
Not a whole lot. Sadistic says, hey, John and Jenna, best reseller YouTube channel. Well, thank you. Look forward to those lives. I got top rated yesterday after 4 months of reselling. Crazy boost in sales the first day and then absolutely zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just it happens to us. We get it all the time. Maya says, I've listed stuff like that on Poshmark where I put in the description where it was sold and everything was okay. But on eBay, they may not like it.
Yeah.
Sweet Thing's with us. I don't set a minimum for offers on some of my listings because I want to check out the buyer. If she has a habit of giving lots of negatives, I will block them. Yeah. Definitely have to vet your buyers because it's not worth giving a bad buyer a deal, knowing you're going to have to be dealing with that bad buyer. Jim B says, when listing an item, now I can only choose from shipping policies created or create a new shipping policy. Is that a new format? Maybe just on my account. I think it's just on your account. I think some of the new sellers, they have the old way where you set your listing, up every time you make a listing. You set what carrier, the weights, and all that. I think you're going to find that you create initially a bunch of different shipping policies that you're going to use, and then you use the drop down to select the one that you use as you go. It's going to save you some time, and you're going to learn which ones are better than, if you're not quite sure what policies to use. Set up quite a different range of policies. Just kind of keep note of which ones you use and which ones you don't. Get rid of the ones you don't. Jerry's with us. Says, hi, FAA family. Thanks for being here. And Brenda says, happy Friday from Blake and I.
Hi, Blake.
Hey, how you doing, Blake? Jerry Johnson says, hi, FAA family. I finally made it to the live.
Yay.
And the YouTuber is Desert Seller. That probably the YouTuber that made the video for I don't know. I've never heard of Desert Seller. 6 and 12 string. I only use a computer for listing except a phone for photos. I'm not sure reinstalling the app on my phone would actually help. Any thought? I think it will because I don't use my app to do the entire listing. I use the app to install the photos into drafts. I'll add the dimensions to my shipping and weight and location of the item. I already have the other stuff filled out, so I know it's safe to launch. I launch it from the app while I'm outside. So I know that I deleted the app. I think it was yesterday, maybe yesterday morning, and my sales went nuts. I didn't draw a correlation between the fact that I deleted and reinstalled the new app either. So that might have been why we had some good sales yesterday. Larry Todd, you're having a problem with sales. You might want to get in there and delete the app and then reinstall it. That goes for anyone.
I'm gonna do it.
But our store is so messed up.
You don't know that.
Yeah, well, I really think that
I have a lot of good shoes on there. Okay,
a lot of good shoes, but I'm a firm believer that your sell-through rate as a store plays a huge role in selling fringy items. Deborah says, I'm new to this chat and I don't know how to tag people. I feel so stupid. Put an @ symbol before you type their name, and it should pop up with their
If you're on the computer, it will pop up. If you're on your phone, you have to type it all out.
Big Dre says, I sell damaged goods at $4.99 and sales apply to those as well. I'm always surprised how many people buy these items and leave good feedback. I get shirts missing buttons, stains, holes, broken items, but you get the feedback that's positive because you put the terms of the sale, you put everything wrong with the item in the listing. Let's see. Jovio says, a funny neighbor smokes weed that smell like a skunk. After multiple times of my dad saying I smell a skunk and looking for one for days, I finally had to tell him where the smell was coming from. And we're talking about that skunk seed. John B says, is there any way to speak to an agent that can make changes to my account? I keep getting told it'll take 72 hours for them to call, email me back. They never do, going around in circles.
Yeah, you're going to continue to go around in circles.
If you get an agent on the phone, tell them that you want to speak to someone in the authentication department because you're thinking about buying some shoes that might need to go through that process, and let them know you have a lot of questions and you would need to speak to someone in that department. And that usually worked for me when I was really trying to get a US rep. And that's what I would say. If you're getting the runaround, that's where I would take it. Big Dre says, I buy these damaged goods on accident when in rushing during a 50% off day in a hurry to check out to the next store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be careful because you're able to sell some of those things at a discounted rate, but you're really not getting the amount that you were kind of hoping. I'm sure you're not. If I have $4.99. Aunt White says, I believe that quality products attract quality buyers. The only time I had an issue was a buyer swapped his broken item in the box. It was a shitty outdoor floodlight. Collectible sales 100%. Yep, I agree with that statement. Tommy says, was it Otani or his interpreter? I saw a headline a few days ago. It was his interpreter. And he put covering for Otani. And you said it, not me. But eBay and Otani are very, very close. I have a hard time believing that he stole money from Shohei. You just don't do that.
How do you not know that somebody took millions of dollars from you?
Now remember, he got a $700 million contract. Most of that's loaded back to when he's done with the Dodgers after 10 years. He's only getting $2 million this year. So you would see a huge chunk of money coming out of your account. I mean, you got to know how much. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you got so much more money than you know what to do with, you stop looking at your account. But
I wonder if his average wife knows anything about
I don't know. Basket Noodle says, gotta run, been fun. The kitty needs some food. Yes, you gotta feed those pets. Aunt White says, also glad to see you two still going strong. I love the channel and love your sexy gray streak. Well, thank you. I've always had a gray streak in me. Maya says, Utah, I don't think you can turn EIS off on the item level, only on your whole store. That's correct. I hate how they changed it. On GSP, you could select certain items. You can either opt in for your entire store or opt out. There is no in between. Ren says, here's the listing word for word. Seed and sky, skunk earrings, wearable art, nature, inspired wild animals in the box. So
take out seed.
Is that?
Or take out.
Well, my question is Seed and Sky a big enough brand where someone's going to go in to search for it?
Right.
So if not, then forget the brand name. What is your buyer going to type into search to find your earrings? That should be the first thing that you're thinking of whenever you make any listing. And is this brand name one of those words?
Hold on, I think she did it.
Did she?
Yeah.
Charles Taylor says 347 policy violations last week for selling erotic novels. New personal best.
What?
Yeah, they don't want you doing that on eBay. But that's a good thing.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know it's real either. If that was a thing, just see how much leniency eBay has with you. I guarantee you, if you tried that on Amazon, you wouldn't get past the second one. EVS says,
sure you can sell those kind of books.
If there's no adult section on eBay anymore. EVS says had 3 different buyers message offers say complimentary stuff, then each use exact phrase. What is your absolute best price? Offer to buy all my stock. I have no stock to sell. Vintage items I decline and block. Interesting. You need to report those people. They can't be doing that on eBay. They're not supposed to be, at least. Yeah. Donna Francisco says I get these bots from time to time too. Never seen one of them yet.
Not ever.
The Truth Be You says hello everyone. Well, thank you for being here. You got Overjoyed says about to start selling on eBay, but afraid of all the scammers. What are the percentage of bad ales?
They're not as many as you may have
2 to 3%
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, that's
very rare.
1%, 2%.
Yeah.
It's a really, really low number.
For the most part, there are good people out there buying with real money, and everything goes smooth. There is always going to be bad apples in every aspect of life, unfortunately.
Yeah. Nick Picker says, don't put the brand in the title. Just use it in the brand field and not at all. Yeah, again, those words that are in the title, you want to reserve for words that buyers would use to type in to find your item.
Yeah.
Overjoyed says, I have some brand names to sell, mostly Levi jeans. Will that get my account shut down as a new seller? I have like 70 pairs. No,
you're allowed to sell Levi.
Jay Ride says, hey, thanks for being here, Jay Ride. Nice seeing you, Jake. Kicking.
A new logo?
Got a new logo?
Yes, he does.
Interesting, a little different.
Oh wait, no, this is J Ride Picks.
J Ride Picks.
Yeah,
okay.
This is his picker channel.
So he decided to log in with picks and not flips.
Yeah.
Okay. Kicking It says my husband runs an eBay store and listens every day. Told him I do my own store apart from him to sell cosmetic items. Anyway, hi guys, I listen to y'all. So I work around in the background.
Awesome. Around in the background. Very nice.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
I love cosmetics, as you might already know.
Yeah, she might be your biggest.
I know.
buyer.
You better watch out.
Don't share your store with us. Maya says the other day I almost listed a few old lingerie catalogs on eBay, but the last second decided against it. Like in theory, it should be allowed, but who knows with eBay? Who knows?
I mean, if you can sell dirty underwear, why would you not be able to sell a novel or a?
Well, like Charles is saying, they no adult section on eBay. They jumped to do it again and a 3-day suspension. So you can't list things out of the category just to sneak it through either. You can't say, okay, well, this is a regular magazine and just put it in like with the Lifetime magazines from like the 70s. You can't do that. If you get found or reported, then it can come back at you. And it's not just bots. I mean, bots are part of it, but you have people that actively go on and report sellers.
Yeah.
But 50 Shades of Grey is allowed.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey is.
We got Ren Gregory says, okay, about the brand name. I just always that I should give credit where credit is due. Thanks. Yeah. In fact, if you're having slow sales and you're trying to figure out what can I do to this listing to maybe give it more exposure and search, start with your titles. If you're putting items up with subpar brand names that you wouldn't look for if you're looking for that item, then maybe you should remove it from your listing. And I know sometimes you're trying to fill the entire 80 characters and you should strive to. One way to do it is to put what the buyer would look for to find the item, and then maybe any key features they might search for. Like maybe waterproof or, whatever. That's kind of the formula that I follow. Simple Beautiful says, can a company sue a seller for money even though the item was paid for? Taking it down, I've heard of. Paying by email is a new one. How is that commerce? Ownership is a right. Yeah, the first was it the first seller doctrine or whatever, but they do, because they know that you're not going to foot the bill for a lawyer and represent yourself in some case in like Ohio or Illinois, right? So they shake you down. It's no different than a buyer that comes to you and wants, half the money back when you did nothing wrong. They know that it's worked, and they're going to keep doing it because it's a way to get money. These are lawyers that really are kind of slimy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it is a thing, and like Rockstar Flipper has reported a lot on those kind of things, and you just gotta keep your head above water. If someone says, "Look, I'm from so and so, representing this company, and we want you to take the item down," take it down. It's not worth getting.
Not.
Yeah. Overjoyed says, maybe I watched too many eBay shut down my account videos. LOL. It's a thing, but it's not worth getting too worked up about. Overjoyed says, I have some very heavy items. I can't imagine what the shipping cost will be on a 50-pound large item. It's a compressor.
But you'd also be surprised at how willing people are to pay shipping.
And, again, you're looking at your competition. So if someone with that item, and there's people out there that'll say they're trying to sell it for $200, or they've sold it for $200 free shipping, figure out the approximate amount that it will cost you to ship that item and deduct that. So let's say, you go in the app, it'll give you a range. Let's say, I think I had a 50-pound item that's probably smaller than your compressor, but it was really heavy. It was 53 pounds. And the range said something like 60 to like 110. Well, let's say about $80. So that's the same item sold for 200. I'm going to lower it by $80, sell it for 120. Usually I'm into that item only for $5 or $10 anyway, and I can come down if I really need to. So that's the key. But look at your app. It'll tell you if you have calculated shipping. Once you plug in the numbers, it'll tell you the approximate range that's going to cost to ship it. Noah Design's back with his old logo.
How did that happen? You used a second account.
DS says, I recently got back into selling on eBay. I can't believe the buyer has a right to request a return when the listing says no returns.
There's no such thing as no returns.
Yeah, it's
period.
The best thing that you could do for your eBay business is to get out of the business of no returns. Nobody wants returns, but if you do things right on eBay, by describing your item accurately, getting a good price, clear photos, multiple photos of issues, it's not going to eliminate all buyers that want to return your item, but you're going to find less disappointment when you do get a return. No returns doesn't guarantee that the buyer is going to comply with what you want. They're going to follow eBay's process, and that allows them to open an item not as described, and you're going to be on the hook for that. And really, I think if you have items that are up for sale with no returns, what is that telling a prospective buyer who's looking at your listing? I'm not talking about the buyers that just on a dime buy something and don't read. There are buyers that do read, and they see that, and they're going like, what in their mind? I know I would be. Why wouldn't they back their item?
Yeah, what do they have to hide? Why don't they want it? What if I don't like it or it doesn't
It's a red
fit?
flag.
It's just a red flag. So, you'll never, ever get away with no refunds or no returns. And
White says you have to avoid certain keywords in the title. You can sell a paintball gun, but you can't put gun in the title. Mm-hmm. You have to call it a paintball marker. I sold vintage lawn jarts by calling it a game. Jarts. Yeah, I think that's...
Didn't you do that?
No, we had some, but they weren't darts. They're like sticky ones. They're not. They have no sharp end. EBS says idea for a show: ideas or receipts for quick meal snacks for eBay sellers who are too tired to cook. Sometimes have pancakes for dinner. LOL. I need that. I don't know if I can make a show about that. I need someone to tell me what they do. You know what my quick idea for food is? Uber Eats.
Or anything in the air fryer.
Yeah. Sook's with us. Food for thought. Weird stuff across my mind. I feel that a hair salon receptionist should be called a hair traffic controller. There you go. That was more true in the 80s when they had the hair all up in the air. Lisa says, John, what is the podcast you mentioned coming up, when and where? So check out the Profit Playbook podcast, 3 Ps. And that's its own channel. We have Bearded Picker and I. We have our own podcast every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And it's not a live stream. It's a podcast. You can watch it whenever, you might be out and about at yard sales, but when you're back, you can watch it. And we really kind of get into areas and topics where people on other podcasts really don't want to venture into. And I think it's an intimidating thing. I think there's a lot of podcasts out there that would rather just have fun and goof around rather than get into the meat and potatoes of reselling and really have thought-provoking discussions like we do. So check it out. Another good episode that's launching in the morning.
Hey, no Josh today.
No. Overjoyed says, do you use USPS or FedEx for heavy items? FedEx. We have an account with FedEx. If you sell a lot of heavy items, get an account rep either with UPS or FedEx. You'll find that in most cases, they're going to hook you up with a pretty good discount. And like FedEx, they have like a thing where you go in like a rewards program. I think I've received last year at least $200 to $300 worth of gift cards for different places that.
What? Have we gotten any?
Oh, not lately. They haven't had it the first part of the year, but they're going to revamp it. So they're going to do that again here. Yes, Profit Playbook Podcast. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Restyle Secrets says Google eBay shipping calculator, easy tools. Just plug in your zip and far away zip. Yep. But also the app is another way when you're looking at that particular item and you have the dimensions and weight in there and you have a policy set, it'll tell you a range what the price is going to be. Beard is still about an hour and a half from home. So that means that his live will be probably somewhere around 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. And check it out tonight. Usually, I might be on there. I've got to get some stuff done. But the fact that he's having it later.
You've got to feed your wife.
Yes.
Actually, I think I'm going to go to the grocery store.
Maya says, my parents got into it with me about returns on eBay. They just want no returns because they're trying to sell stuff that they can get their house ready to move. They don't want the stuff back, but they can still get it back. They can still.
Sadly, it's just, that's the thing.
If you just represent your item correctly, you're not going to get a whole lot more returns, I don't think. DS says, okay, thanks for the insight. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. And we have Callie Deb says, hi, everyone. Just joining. It's my son's birthday. Just got back from an outing with him. Well, hey.
Oh, well, happy birthday to your son.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Exciting.
EBS is on an island. No Uber Eats, no delivery.
Oh.
I would trade for the island.
I will take the island life,
you can have the Uber.
Please.
I would cook every day if I could wake up to an island. Jason Byers says, can you not use the word gun in any case now? Like, for instance, water gun or gun carry bag? I'm not so sure you can.
I don't know.
I'm not so sure you can't. But then again, if you get flagged, then you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to know that because there's people sell gun parts and gun accessories.
Yeah,
right?
we have sold gun
holsters and accessories.
The scopes.
Yeah.
That was a visual.
Donna says, what's that old army saying? My weapon's for protection, my gun is for fun. My gun's just to sit in my safe all the time. Simple Beautiful, J&J, thanks for standing up for us resellers. I love the show, everyone. Hit the thumbs up. Yes.
We love you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Overjoyed says, I understand the no return policy. I'm trying to declutter. As a product reviewer, I've stacked up a lot of crap. And a lot of people want that crap, right? So get that stuff up and listed. Maya says, oh, okay, I'm not sure if FedEx rates would be that much better than UPS, but I guess you could check, shop around. I mean, it's better if you can get a dedicated rep and they could set you up with a lower dim calculation. So, a 20 by 20 box on eBay would yield a little higher price than a dedicated rate with a lower calculation through like FedEx. That's what we have. Tommy says, plus no returns hurts pretty bad for search rank if they have any competition. I agree with that. Larry Way Out, the plan is to go to dinner after you do the show on Monday the 25th. Monday the 25th. That's this Monday. Yeah, we could do Monday. Yeah. So we're good. So just let us know what time and where, and we'll make sure that.
Yeah, what do you want to eat? What kind of food?
Not So Funny says, I sold a gun charm using a gun title. Yeah. And then this is the link to the live tonight when Beard gets in. Probably like an hour,
It's
hour
to
and a
the
half.
channel because I don't see a thing for his
No,
live.
he'll set up the live once he gets home, but
Yeah.
look for it in about an hour and a half. Overjoyed says, I have a lot of collectibles for my parents. I hate dust collectors. Hate to throw it out when I know it has value.
Yeah, don't throw it out.
Don't throw it out.
Don't
Sell
throw
it.
it out.
Someone will want it.
Yeah.
If it has value, someone will want it.
That would break my heart to see something like that go in the trash.
Dark Horse says, I know, right? I found some ish I forgot I had, and it's trash. No siree, Bob. It isn't trash. It's no siree, Bob. Yeah. Jason Byers says, I've only used rifle in a title before and it went fine, but anytime I use a questionable word like that, it takes up to 24 hours to go live after listing. It must have to get approved. Maybe, through the magical innovations called, AI. They're looking at it, I'm sure. Beard says, I know a lot of people with lower DIM calculations. There's some DIM people out there. Maya says, Overjoyed, there might be some other good platforms to sell that stuff on. Like I think that District Community Knickknack sells a lot of glass. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. And if you have a lot of glass, go check out the Sunny Las Vegas's channel. Mm-hmm. He'll give you some insights on selling glass and maybe a lot of things to learn from. Sook says, buyers just messaged me, why is my package in Alaska when I live in California? My answer was USPS loves sending packages all over the United States every now and then. Yes.
Yes. It happens
they do.
More often than they think.
We have a package I just refunded. It buyer opened an item not received because I told them really to do it. They bought it last month, and it was a pressure washer, and I shipped it by Ground Advantage. Guess where it was going? Hawaii. And after about a week, the last report was somewhere on the West Coast, and it never made it to Hawaii. At least on the 3rd of March, it was the last update. So I gave them a refund. And I have a claim filed with USPS. We'll see what happens with it. I'm assuming I'm going to get a refund.
That's crazy.
USPS, they've done better, but things do happen. You sell enough items on eBay, you're going to get that kind of thing happening. Larry, burgers are good, maybe in and out unless you have something you like better. What do you think? Well, email us at flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com, and we could talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
No One Designs is Jenna, that Thai chicken and broccoli with cashew.
That sounds so good too.
Duncan says, I just saw John's password in the reflection on Jenna's glasses. Yes.
No, you didn't.
It's Flippin' Ain't Easy is the password.
Yep.
No One Designs says, if you're not a nut lover, get without. Yeah.
I do like nuts.
I'm sure Ken gets extra on the side. He loves it. Dark Horse is gonna make some listings soon. Yes, got to do that. Mine says, me too. To be honest, that's why I don't deal with them. On the rare occasion I do, I bubble wrap the hell out of it and put it in a big box. Yep. Overjoyed says, I have an e-commerce site. USPS has been far more reliable than other carriers. Yeah, I mean, I've had claims on both sites, so I can't say one's better than the other. Yeah. I look for the best rate and the best transit time. Because, if I can save a day or two for the buyer, I'll go that route if the price is the same or similar. Sook says, who knows, Devon? 2 years ago, I had a package that had to only go 12 miles from my house, and it took 3 weeks. We had a small 4-ounce package that we were shipping across town, like to the Henderson side, like 20 miles away. It went up to Seattle before it got delivered to Henderson. That's no lie. Devon says, I never had a problem with USPS, and they're trying to get better. After my conversation with the rep like last month, they had told me that they're doing the local rates, the local connect rates. They're doing things that decrease the handling time. But when you see things and you're tracking like what happened here with the package to Hawaii, it kind of makes you wonder, are they kind of reverting back to their old ways? Todd says, because hula skirts need pressure washing. Yes. And then No One Design, Ken says, how the heck did John mess up saying giggity? No giggity. Beard says, the best way I serve broccoli is to open the trash can and scrape it in.
No way. I love broccoli.
Yeah, it has to be kind of chopped finely and part of the recipe for me to be okay with it. Ren says, I got refunded from USPS for something that never made it to Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's possible. It seems like, you're talking ground, right? So how do you send Ground Advantage to Hawaii? of course, it has to be by boat, right? So maybe it fell off the boat. Who knows? Mike,
I'm
Mike's still with
concerned
us.
because our mailman and our FedEx have not come
Yeah, we're gonna kind of wrap it up here in a minute. We're gonna probably have to make a trip, which I can't stand the thought of. But
on a Friday night.
Mike Camparelli says, I sell a lot of vintage American Rifleman mags. No problem with listing being accepted. Yep. Duncan says, if sales are slow, list more. Here's the pro tip. If you sell one, list 2 more. If you sell 5, then 10. List double what you sell each day. Try it. That's a very, very good idea.
That's right.
Beard says, John, what's your transition time? Not sure what you mean by that, Beard.
Transition from here to his channel?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's going to be on in about an hour, hour and a half. So look for it on his channel. Broccoli is delicious, raw cooked, shredded, chopped, or with or without butter.
Yes.
D through Bu says, I find that no return.
Truth be you.
Okay. I find that no return policy decreases returns or motivates the buyer to ask questions and not pull a scam on the item replacement. When I do returns, which is rare, I always take off shipping cost. Yeah, I just think that that may happen, but you're hurting your rank in search, as Tommy said, and there's people who may have bought from you, but see that no return policy and they run for the hills. Overjoyed says, do you have USPS pick up your items or do you take them to the post office? We have a scheduled daily pickup. Yeah. They're supposed to be here.
They should have been here already.
But, I mean, they got another 20 minutes, but they usually are here on a daily basis, and we tell them how many packages we approximately have, and we have that same setup for FedEx. FedEx charges us $4 a day to pick up, but we're saving like $20 a day in fees, so it pays for itself. Dark Horse says, great idea. I plan to pick up 5 more Be Quiet Shadow Rock case fans. Yeah, sell them. Henri Squaw says, I have 1 open missing mail case at the moment. I think it was delivered and not scanned. And you know, sometimes they have their scanners set wrong, and it's showing an acceptance scan and not a deliver, or a deliver scan, not an acceptance. It's crazy. Yeah. But we're go back. Oh, Bobble says, hey, great FAA peeps. If you love John and Jenna, Sweet Jenna, the fun and informative show here, please take a second and caress that like button. Keep the info coming. Yes.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Simple Beautiful says, Duncan VR. Pound. Duncan VR says, try and turn promoted listings off on any item above 100, and I find they still sell and less fees without promoted listings. There you go. So that's where we're going to end it here. Want to thank you guys for being here with us. Just some perspective to take you into the weekend with, and that is the buyers really haven't changed so much, guys. It's people will do what they're allowed to do, what eBay allows them to do. The bad buyers are going to try to get away with what they want to get away with or what they have gotten away with. And eBay sort of enables that, but they've gotten better lately. So just know that it's going to happen. If you sell enough items, you're going to run into these bad buyers, but it doesn't mean that every buyer is that way. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. But it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Well, you guys have an excellent weekend, and we will talk to you guys very soon. Take care.